LCS Academy Summer Split powered by Verizon. I'm Mazel, joined by Cubby and Mr. Deserex. And my goodness, what a game coming out. Holy cow, to start us off. We'll get to the conversations about that a little bit later. First and foremost, I want to introduce a little game here. We're going to have a little bit of fun here since we're between games. And it's everyone's favorite game. It's everybody's favorite original Academy piece. It is Yordle! And this is the first time Deserex is getting to participate in this one. So, with the audience and Deserex, I'm going to walk you all through the rules. All right? So we've got a 6-letter word that I have deemed as a theme or a main point of the game that we just watched. All right? You're going to have 5 guesses to guess what word that is. Now, when you guess what?
Why not 6? It's 6 letters.
Because then
Got
that's awkward. So
we didn't have room for it. So
when you get a letter correct in the word that you guessed, if it is in the correct place, it is the correct letter, it'll be green. If it is the correct letter in the wrong place, it'll be yellow. And if it's the wrong letter at all, it'll be gray. And I want to just see if you guys wanted to collaborate on each one, or if you wanted to go one at a time. What is your guys' guess? I'll give you guys a chance to decide on that one.
I'm not a word person. I'm collaborating on this.
Okay. we'll build up our synergy here.
I feel you on that one, Deserex.
Yeah, we'll build up our synergy here, as neither Deserex or I can read. We can only talk. So we'll see if we can figure this out. I'm going to volunteer a first word, though. I'm going to run it by Deserex before I do, because we have to say lock it in eventually. But the first word I'm going to volunteer is rookie. I'm curious what you think.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah,
double
couple vowels.
Okay.
I feel like it has to do something with Meech. You know, it is a double O. Okay, we're gonna.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and lock that one in. Let's see.
Ooh,
Okay.
Wow.
So you got an R in the right place. So you know the letters, the word starts with an R. But
okay, honestly, Rylai's could fit. Could be. We were joking about Rylai's. We were joking about Rylai's. Oh wait, no, it'd be an I in the same place. See, we can't English. Yeah.
All right. What do you
Rosie?
Collaboration on the second guess here? Let's see if you can if you guys can make some progress.
It has to. What's this? God, 6 letters is hard. You know, there is a game that is similar to this that has 5 letters instead of 6.
No way! What? I've
if
never
only.
Heard of that.
Oh my goodness!
If
Why
only
would
we were
possibly ever have 5? I feel like 6 is so much better. Like it's just it opens up so many horizons.
Bro, what are words that start with an R?
So okay, I'll start giving you guys some guesses. You know, you guys said this phrase maybe in a different form a lot at the beginning of the game. And that's what made me choose it. And you know,
Rift Herald. It had to do. It was something around like there was some Rift plays.
You know, we have a
we got to guess. We got to guess.
Action. Yeah, you guys got to get.
We got to guess.
It's been like 25 seconds.
Oh god, I don't know, man.
Mr. I'm putting you on the spot, Mr. Not Word Man, Deserex. What do you got?
Oh god,
what do you got? It's just a 6-letter word. Go.
I can't. Rek'Sai.
Rek'Sai.
You know what? Lock it in. Lock it in.
Lock it in.
Lock in Rek'Sai. We're gonna learn.
Is Rek'Sai gonna be it?
I don't know 6-letter R words, but okay. You know what? Yeah.
It said it's not a word.
We're not allowed to do. We're not.
Oh my god.
Wow,
this is tough. This is tough.
Oh, why?
So you did. Okay, we'll give you another guess. Let's see. What's your 6-letter word? No names.
Let's just go with the fact that it has an R and an I in it is tough. This is really throwing me off.
All right, it is. I'll give you some big hints now since you guys are having so much trouble. All right, so it's a tilted contest. You know, the things are going towards an end. There, you know, there's multiple contestants. What do you think?
You know what? We're just gonna get some different words in there. I'm just gonna guess riches.
Riches. All right, let's lock in riches so we can progress forward.
Yeah, we're just gonna learn.
Hey, you're moving forward. Look at this. So you got an R and a C in the right place. The I has moved, but it is still in the wrong place.
Okay.
So you're getting really close.
I'm thinking on this so hard, man. Why? I
wanna see Deserex's face while he's just like
Wait, okay, we haven't
destroyed
guessed
by
anything with an
trying to
A
guess
yet.
these words.
We need to guess something with like an A.
All right, yeah, I think vowels would be good for you. Again, I gave you some hints, right? Like they're going towards an end of something. There's multiple contestants usually. It's a tilted affair.
Hold on.
very close usually. Sometimes giving you plenty of hints. Kelsey's probably laughing very hard.
Racing?
All right, let's try and see. Is this one gonna be it? Is it
You're
racing?
gonna
Bada bing, bada boom! You did it! Oh my God, it's a miracle!
The
Holy
hints helped.
cow!
I will say riches is something like I felt like, you know, like the rich were getting richer is something like we might have said with Meech. So that was the guess, and then you know the multiple contestants what gave it away.
You guys said off to the races like 3 or 4 times in the first like little bit, so it made me think. You know,
yeah.
I want to see some races, and you know, we did get a little bit of a race. It definitely petered out there. There was a clear and obvious winner, but I picked up a few clips here to kind of showcase a little bit of why I chose racing.
We did it.
It was a race. Yeah, you did it. Good job. Yeah, you did it. A little bit of hints there, but you know, it's fine. But it was very, very close, right? You got to see a lot of blows back and forth, especially in the early game. You see here that already Hyper was 2-0, gets the 3-0 pick on to triple, and then CLG respond on the bottom with their own, right? Like Instinct is able not to pull off a play there and gets kind of picked off by Meech, and then you see the snowball with the Rift Herald at the same time. It becomes a quickened affair there, Cubby, and I thought it was really interesting to highlight as we continue to see more clips.
And I mean, TSM, they did have to make this game fast, but I think that a lot of praise has to go to Meech and Breezy. The way that Meech was able to flash out of the combos and then Breezy positioning with these Lulu ults to just support the team, make sure that Dionysus can never get off the ground. If that doesn't happen, TSM can't get off the ground. That's exactly what we saw in that game.
Yeah, and it just gets a little crazy all over the place, and I feel like TSM did have a couple moments where they were trying to come back into it and had some moments where they were showing some flair, right, the engages. There's a reason why, you know, the Diana Yasuo was picked in the first place, but Meech, I know you wanted to highlight him, Deserex, but Meech was so quick, so fast, he was racing. Yeah, it was actually incredible to see a little bit of pop. So I chose racing. You guys said off to the races, and it made me think this is a race between two 5-person teams that actually ended up not in the way that I would have expected. I would have expected TSM.
How does that race work? Is it 2 cars with 5 in it? Is it 10 cars?
Yeah, it's like clown cars. Like all 5 of them. They all have a
okay, then
you drive your pit crew with
they
you.
all have a steering
which roles
wheel.
are the pit crew? Yeah.
They all have a steering wheel. Actually, no. 4 of them have a steering wheel. 1 of them has the horn because you got to honk because it's a clown car. Is that too far? Anyway.
No, it's a clown explanation, which is perfect for a clown car.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that first game, the first kickoff game of this day, was a very big indication to CLG's strengths, and it was very, very, very good to see Meech popping off the way they did. Had the Lulu support there, but I think that's something super interesting to talk about, especially as this is his first game in Academy, Cubby.
And I like the comparison. You know, Deserex was bringing up the fact that CLG's played with 3 rosters, even talking about Luger. They haven't dropped a beat. I actually think that Meech and Luger are actually a pretty comparable comparison in kind of the play styles of these guys, some of the champion pools, and how they like to play the game. And that is get more resources on the marksman and then utilize their hands to really push the pace. And that's something that again, with Jenkins top and Meech bot, I really felt like Jenkins plus Luger were going to play the same way in LCS too. And it's all about funneling the marksman, making sure that your marksman is ahead, can carry the game from there. And if you give Meech a matchup like Lulu Nami into Aphelios Lulu, and he's on that Lulu side, it doesn't matter the level of play I've seen Meech play at. I've seen him do well in that matchup consistently. We saw that again here in Academy.
Yeah, I think so as well. Deserex, you got anything to say about your boy Meech?
Yeah,
first game.
Yeah,
Anything to christen this occasion?
I've hyped up Meech a lot, and I'm still gonna keep hyping him up. Damn it! But
oh, the desk is included.
But
I love it.
Breezy is someone I got to give a lot of credit to in that one. You know, having the Lulu pick alongside the Aphelios, Breezy has been one of the supports that's really good historically at keeping his marksmen safe. Lots of Thresh play, lots of Tom play back in the past, and now being on the Lulu, he was able to make sure that Meech wasn't going to suffer from any of those ganks that were coming through. Also, Breezy has one of the best vision scores in the entire league. He has the highest vision score per minute, and he's the only person who's reached the 3-point mark at that point. So lots of safety and lots of comfort having Breezy there.
Yeah,
I always love when Deserex, throws out some extra things from the stat book I didn't write down. It's good. It's been
some
multiple times the last few days. It's been good stuff.
Some stats that even Cubby didn't even know about. But no, it is really good to see, and especially I like that you highlighted, the Lulu Aphelios as well was a huge integral part to that. But I do want to go back to, looking at, well, I guess we don't get to because Champions like this ready. But I was gonna say the jungle matchup is so hype. Yuji versus Hyper, it's so intense. I'm really excited to see how it pans out. Let's kick it away to Champions like Deserex and Cubby.
All right, I'm definitely excited coming into this one this time, Cubby, because there was a lot of early promise that came out of TSM from those early plays that we saw from Hyper, so things can definitely switch up, but it's a strong debut and start for Meech and CLG.
And for TSM, I know that they've had a couple tough opponents this week. I think that CLG and 100 Thieves definitely are going to be, from the looks of things, early season. I think I can say 100 Thieves will be, top 4, top 3 in the standings. CLG, I think, is going to be trying to push the teams there. For TSM, I think that, maybe some tougher opponents is giving them a hard time. And again, maybe Shenyi coming in too, just trying to adapt, catch up. They're now behind the scrim time compared to the other teams that have had their bot lanes here. Of course, as you mentioned, Meech still has been playing scrims, even if Meech wasn't playing the stage games. Meech from Canada, so don't want to play the stage games with all the ping. And fortunately for Meech, is now in LA. And bringing his A game here to start off the split as that Ezreal ban. I gotta believe that's gonna prompt a Senna ban out of TSM. That means that Wukong's up, everything's up on the table, and I'm curious to see what CLG ends up grabbing first pick if Senna is not banned. If Senna's let through, that will be first pick for me.
So one more marksman. We'll see if that ban goes through because I'm still looking at Zeri.
Oh,
Zeri gets locked away, so this is gonna leave Senna up as well as Zeri up for the taking on either side.
That's tricky. I think if I'm CLG, I favor the Zeri side, and that's going to be the call here for Meech. Yeah. But this does give Instinct Shenyi, Senna Tahm Kench, really strong lane. I expect the counter to be... Could see Zeri Karma or Zeri Lulu. And I don't expect to see a Tahm Kench deny. That would be interesting, though, as they're going to save the Tahm Kench likely for 3-pick, and instead make sure they get the priority jungler in the Wukong.
That, Zeri Karma is something we saw out of Team Liquid yesterday that was incredibly effective. That is one of the keys to success when it came to their 18-minute race. I'm just going to use Formazel at this point.
Yeah, that was the race. Yeah.
So next pick's coming in. CLG gonna lock in Rosethorn, that comfort with the Viego. Really never giving up that champion is going to be Rosethorn. One more pick to come through. Surprised they're not hovering around the support role here. And yeah, there it goes. The Karma locked in.
Part of the reason to see Karma here is the fact we expect Tahm Kench. Tahm Kench, especially in this patch, did see some buffs. So Senna TK, honestly, a stronger lane if you are able to brawl early, but picking ranged champions with slows make it difficult for TK to engage. Still expecting to see this for Shenyi. As for CLG, Zeri plus Karma, it's a lot of move speed. The bonus shield, Zeri, of course, benefits from getting shields and taking them as, oh boy, Deserex, I lied. That is not a Tahm Kench. That is going to be a farming Maokai for Shenyi. I know that Mazel is going to start freaking out, as I think that Shenyi was actually known for his Maokai play back in the LDL and the LPL. Mazel, if you want to DM me to make sure I'm right on that, feel free. But I swear to God, you've been talking about this at some point. Man, Maokai, that's going to be a very different flavor of bot lane here for TSM. It does give them some lockdown on Zeri. Point and click W could be big. Could be big.
Point and click W, as you said, and of course the ultimate that comes out. It's a large area that he's able to get those roots onto.
Oh, yeah.
And this is like a lot of crowd control on top of that because you have Hyper on the Wukong, so there's a lot of tools. There's definitely a lot of tools. A lot of crowd control for TSM to try and temper what Meech is going to look to pull off on this Zeri.
I'll be curious to see what Maokai ends up building, as I will be honest, again, we are on a very new patch. Last time I saw a lot of Maokai support was Imperial Mandate, but with the tank item changes, Bomby Cinder being a lower price point, wouldn't be surprised we see something like a Turbo Chem tank or an Aegis. I think Maokai, or the Sunfire Aegis, whatever they call it now, that item. Riot always changes the items on me, man. It's tough.
The champion I had prepared for Shenyi was, I was wondering if he was ever going to pick his Alistair. That's the one I've been kind of like...
that and Rel. Yeah.
That's one of the disgusting ones. Even back when he was in the LDL, that Alistair had a 90% win rate.
I don't know what it is with TSM and good Alistar players, man. They got Mia, too. We already saw Mia's Alistar popping off in the Academy stage, but Mia looking like it's more likely we're going to see him on the LCS stage. Good for him. I think he's performed really well on those 4 games of Academy. As Ornn, blind pick, they did throw 2 bans to try and protect Soul on the top side. As we will see what Jenkins ends up going for. Gangplank's up, and I would not be surprised we see Gangplank from Jenkins, or could easily be the Gwen.
This is so much engaged on TSM Academy, so much team fight. I'm getting a little bit worried in terms of damage coming out from TSM at this point now. You still got 1 more pick to go, so we'll see what they choose to grab.
Victor, yeah,
for that mid lane, but
yeah,
no lack
Victor
of damage.
Victor's pretty wit. Victor is pretty good into Maokai, Ornn, Wukong. Yeah, CLG is in good shape. The one thing that CLG does lack is engage. So that is something that TSM could try to punish. If CLG do get ahead, they're going to have to be really good at manipulating the wave states to make sure they don't get shut down. As I would love this from Takeover. Oh boy. Takeover's Akali, baby. It's always a treat when he gets melee champions. And I'm excited to see Takeover piloting this into the Victor as TSM really committing towards this mid-game spike. CLG, all their champions will scale into Oblivion, but we'll see if CLG can push the pace of the game, as a lot of their comp's going to be about absorbing these engages, trying to dodge out on this Akali, all the burst damage there, and make sure that they're able to get Victor, Zeri, Gwen into the stages of the game where you just cannot deal with these champions.
It's always exciting when you get to see Takeover stay within that like cutthroat assassin pool that he really made a name for himself in. You know, he's developed that so much more in TSM, being able to expand his champion pool. But when he goes back to his roots, you know you're in for something fun here. So we'll see what Takeover is able to pull off with this Akali into this matchup, because there is so much engage. We're talking about a lack of engage coming up from CLG. Man, TSM have too much engage coming out here, Cubby.
And for TSM, it's going to be about how they can use that, because they have to use it to try and push the pace. I really think that Shenyi, Hyper, they're able to work together, get roams on mid. If Victor blows flash, you can really rinse, repeat, and punish that quite a bit, especially with the Akali, who brings so much damage in the early stages of the game, and a lot of single target damage later, of course. As long as you connect that backflip, Akali is going to be useful. So we'll see if Takeover, again, this is a champion that Takeover is known for. Good to see him on the Akali. We'll see what he can do as we dive into our second game.
The second game, we got to keep reminding you, Meech is on Zeri. He's been the highlight player for this one for a big reason. It's his rookie debut. Already off to the races. I got to keep saying it now, Marcel. I'm going to keep saying it just for you with that first game #1 that went through. I'll see what he can do now that he has this heavy shove lane over with the Zeri and the Karma.
Also, I am of the mentality that Zeri should just be banned on red this patch. I really don't think that you can give Zeri over. I also think that most teams you have to ban Senna. So the fact that each are let through, honestly, will be interesting to see as we're going to learn something about the new patch. Both these champions, I think teams across the board think they are very strong, and rightfully so. So we'll see in the one-on-one how they're going to match up. I do favor Zeri Karma in this lane, especially the push early. You can see CLG getting a late ward down to really try and track the jungler here for TSM. Make sure their lanes are going to be safe, as they do want to farm it out early, especially in the top side. Dodge out at any ganks that come up there, as Wukong and Ornn with the gank assist can be lethal for Gwen.
Rosethorn mostly will be pathing towards this bottom side with the Zeri, and you're talking about the Zeri, how you're expecting it to be banned red side. It's gotten through quite a bit in 12.11, seeing play 5 times Yan being mostly the recipient of that champion, being able to pop off with it. And only 1 loss, that was FlyQuest over on Tomo. So good track record starting off for that champion, and it's in the hands of Meech, as we said. It's something he is already comfortable with.
Hell of a debut in Game 1. We'll see if Meech can continue it with a champion that many consider very strong, potentially overpowered on this patch. As, of course, hope you're watching Academy this week, as you are going to get a preview for what the LCS is going to look like in this meta, 12-11. You get ahead of the curve. Try and look smart with all the Twitter and Reddit analysts with SRX. That's big time.
We try. Sometimes you look smart, sometimes you don't. You know, regions change, different metas in their own things.
I like to not look smart, because that usually means I took risks. Speaking of risks, Shenyi, good flash from Breezy.
An attempted engage, but it is going to get the flash out of Breezy. Flash for flash, though. Shenyi had to use his flash to get in on that. But look at this right here. Triple now going towards the river, just places down a ward to spot out where Hyper's going. Hyper's not going to reveal himself yet. Triple very extended, trying to shove in takeover.
Ooh. Oh, clever from Hyper. Sees the trinket drop. Triple thinks he's safe. He is not. Hyper, nice path. See what happens.
Oh, man. Felt it coming, and now here's Hyper. Down comes the Kane. Still has his flash. Gonna wait for takeover. Now get away.
That's big. Really nice pathing from Hyper. He is now opening up a lane that they can attack. Again, getting that flash off Victor is huge. That makes sure that Akali level 6 becomes very lethal for Triple, especially if he's not able to sidestep the E. And also opens up mid lane for a revisit. So Hyper, I think, again, putting together a good early game plan and path to try and help out his team.
And now where is the plan of attack for Rosethorn? He's going for the invade at the moment, with the deep vision, stilling out what camps he can. We're expecting some play towards the bottom lane. I do think with the way Shenyi has been playing, at least in Academy, that it is pretty exploitable to try and play around his over-aggression in the bot lane. That being said, it's something also that Hyper can try and take advantage of if they can secure those ganks down there and get a lockdown on them each.
I think if I'm TSM, I just try and attack mid. I make sure that this Victor has the hardest early game possible, especially now that Victor doesn't have the flash. If you set Victor behind, that does make sure that takeover gets really strong, not only in this lane, but both side lanes. As Akali also matches up really well into Gwen in the side lane too. So I think if TSM gets this Akali ahead, if TSM can make sure that Victor gets behind, that can create a lethal mid game for them, where they can really try and attack the champions of CLG before they get out of control big.
I know Triple's been kind of going crazy this meta because he has to keep going against Azirs lately. He had it yesterday where it was the Corki Azir matchup.
Yeah.
Victor Azir matchup, and he posted a tweet about it right away.
Yeah. I was just about to say that. It's like Corki Azir, Victor Azir, like, I love this meta or something. Honestly, for
so
Triple...
That's what he
said. I don't know if he's like kidding or serious, because I think this meta has always been really good for Triple.
Oh, yeah.
He is someone that I consider a very good control mage player, and might get put to the test here. Is we talked about the rinse and repeat mid. Check out Hyper making his way in.
Oh, he has the control ward towards his river, so he's going to try and take that escape path, but no flash and a long way from home.
That's
Hyper
not his
gonna
turret.
flash onto him. There's the gravitational field. Doesn't get the stun
nice.
onto Hyper, so Triple bet to the wolves right here. The Monkey will be able to take him down. Hyper netting that kill.
Gotta say, I'm a bit surprised they gave that over to Hyper and not Takeover, but Hyper, he has sacrificed quite a bit early. Check out the jungle CS between Rosethorn and Hyper. Rosethorn has been able to deny a couple camps away from Hyper, and also Rosethorn going to be on the Dragon, so it's not like CLG isn't answering back anything. They are trying to find ways to still keep a lead, and while all this has been going on, the bot lane of CLG is murdering. Look at Zeri, the CS, compared to the Maokai. As, again, Shenyi and Instinct have just been stuck under this turret. Rosethorn going to utilize that to take the first dragon.
It's too difficult. Very difficult. That Karma constantly shoving you in alongside the Zeri, and the harassment when Shenyi tries to walk up. I mean, sure, you have decent sustain, but the pressure, so much right there. Now Rosethorn trying to match Hyper over here, who's posturing up into the mid lane. They'll only be running parallel to each other as Hyper goes straight for the scuttle.
You can see how difficult this matchup is for Triple, and how Triple is just so afraid to walk up. Love how Takeover is maintaining that freeze. The experience differential, big in favor of TSM. So Hyper has sacrificed a bit of his early game to make sure that Takeover is ahead, but I feel like, again, this is a good recognition of the win con for the side of TSM. Making sure that Takeover is set up for success. He can blow up each member of CLG in the side lanes as they need to hit this mid-game spike, and I really want to see TSM try to fight around this Rift Herald. Because I think that this is an angle, especially that rotates Senna up, where they could have a winning team composition, and they need to drive home this lead early. If CLG takes Rift, that would be really bad for the side of TSM. So I like how Instinct already trying to get towards the mid lane here, not walking straight bot. as we'll see if CLG uses that bot lane priority like they did in Game 1 to try and make it to Rift Herald first.
So you're not taking that path just yet, as there's a huge wave being shoved in over in the bot lane, thanks to Meech and Breezy. Keeping them locked down. Keeping them locked in down there. Tough positioning to come out for CLG to try and get their footing in for TSM, who are still posturing up towards this Rift Herald. So while they're not rotating up the bottom lane, you still have Soul, level 6, has called the Forge God. If they want to go out for the fight, try and challenge Jenkins, and of course take over. Now here comes Jenkins hopping in onto Soul a little bit early right now. Get that damage in before a fight does break out. Half health is going to be Soul.
Man, Jenkins is so intelligent, like, with how he's played out these 2 games. I mean, think of Game 1, really shutting down Hyper as Breezy. Oh, that's flash over Shenyi.
Oh no, Shenyi! But it's a trade
Huge.
for trade support for support. Shenyi able to try and sacrifice Breezy, but look at that. They take him down too fast, and Meech can't clean up the support in time. Underneath the tower, he'll be chased and take over. We'll take him down.
Oh my god, Shenyi, the big brain on this guy. The Twisted Advance follows, but he hits the Blast Cone. I don't know if it was him or Instinct. That's huge for the side of TSM, as they were going to lose out on the Herald because of how intelligent that trade was from Jenkins, just taking down the health bar of Soul. But one of the ways you can defend against Herald plays, it is cutting off the rotating bot lane. TSM does that beautifully here. Thank you for the replay. Take a second look. Oh, no. Oh, it's Meech on the Zeri. The Q auto accidentally caught in the Blast Cone as he was hitting Shenyi.
No.
Oh, man. Meech and Breezy, they worked together so well in Game 1. Meech, oh, that stray Q just nags the Blast... barely snags the Blast Cone as TSM are able to snab up the Karma and Meech in the back half. That's big for the side of TSM.
He was too good. He was trying to 1v9 quite literally that time. And unfortunately, sacrificed his support in the process.
Yeah, I know. We always like to make jokes about how Meech can be PvE in the early stages of the game, an amateur. That was PvE gone wrong. Didn't want to not want to grab the Blast Cone there.
So with that, this is a good start coming out for Team Solo, man. I mean, you're getting the gold allocated where you need it, which is over on Takeover. And the big thing here is the bot lane of CLG is not popping off. They're struggling right now. Meech and Breezy with that dive from earlier. Set behind, still keeping up in farm, though. That's one of the big things you have to keep track of after that oppression that was going on to Shenyi to make sure that he was shoved underneath that tower.
It's going to get Breezy.
Ooh, Breezy now caught out by Shenyi.
Yeah, he was chilling. He's dead.
Catches him. Out comes the ultimate, and not enough damage brought out. They're trying to return a kill onto Shenyi, but look at Hyper go. He hops right onto Meech. Meech will still take down Shenyi in the process, but now it's Rosethorn by himself, left to his lonesome.
Oh, nice
the
flash.
ultimate goes after Hyper, but Hyper gets a triple kill. Brilliant flash to come out. We are not done. Takeover dives underneath the tower and takes the life of Triple.
Plays across the map. We talked about how TSM, they can hit this early mid-game spike hard if they get ahead. And Breezy caught snoozing an easy twisted advance for Shenyi connects. And Hyper played that team fight so well in the bot side, Desrex, flashing away from the ult of Rosethorn's Viego. This solo wins the fight for TSM on the bot side, while Takeover, oh man, starting off the fight with the Shuriken backflip. You can see how good Takeover's Akali is. Didn't need the ult under the turret instead. Knows that he has the health to snag that auto, snag the kill, and dip out of there with the second cast. As TSM, just like that, Tesserex, have opened up a massive lead on the Rift.
Takeover's looking so good. Able to get that 1v1 against Triple right through the river itself, and that win condition now online for TSM. Takeover, once he starts leaving that lane, once we get out of the laning phase, there's going to be big worries for CLG. Now CLG trying to rectify the situation as they focus over towards this top side. Going to put the Herald onto the top side, looking to take down this tower. So we'll not have too much longer with this tower as Jenkins a couple more autos to go through. Call the Forge God being used. Tower's low, but it hasn't fallen yet. Still trying to get the autos onto it, but it's a little bit too tanky. He's able to save the tower. Soul still alive. Jenkins tries to hop away, falls critically low, has to hop to the side. Now Soul, with 200 health remaining, is able to defend his tower just for a little bit longer, though. It's still going to fall to Jenkins in the top while the play goes off in the bot lane. Still trying to take down Meech's Instinct, bullying him away, making sure that this rookie gets welcomed.
And I like this trade on the side of TSM. I think Soul actually played that really well on the top side. Nearly created a scenario where they were able to trade out a kill. Yes, the first brick does go over to CLG. Yes, this gold lead is close, but again, TSM, they have to hit these early spikes. And we talk so much about takeover on this Akali. Look at where all the gold for TSM is right now. It is on Hyper, and more importantly, on takeover. So now that one of the turrets are down, I want to see TSM try to get takeover in these side lanes, get takeover in the 1v1 situations against the Victor, against the Gwen, take advantage of how strong Akali is at this point of the game, and try to really snowball this game through the side lanes.
Free up takeover, because look at what he is doing, my word! The man is on fire right now. CLG trying to find an answer, but doesn't seem to be going their way. The only lane that is benefiting them right now is this top side, is Jenkins. He hasn't gotten any kills. He has a CS lead, was able to get that solo tower, so has a good amount of gold going in flux towards that Gwen in the top side. It's going to take a lot more for CLG to find a comeback, though.
And for the side of CLG, again, it's all about time. But this is one of the worries about CLG's comp. Yes, if they get to the later stages of the game, it is going to be so difficult for TSM to play into Gwen, into Victor, into Zeri, but they have to get there, and CLG don't have these big engage tools to try and drive home TSM being out of position, or drive home any lead they have, whereas on the side of TSM, you have Maokai, you have Ornn, you have a bit of strength in the members that you need to have strength in at this point of the game. TSM can really push the pace, and I want to see them do that. Love to see them grouped up here as for trying to get in Rosethorn's jungle. As we'll see if Rosethorn even tries to contest. He cannot. It's a red buff over, and Hyper moving on. As remember that jungle matchup early? It was like 47-24 in Rosethorn's favor. But because Hyper got his lanes ahead, he's now been able to catch up, and Hyper's doing some good work on the Rift now.
TSM pushing in the mid lane. They're trying to spot out where Jenkins is. This rotation coming out from Hyper and Takeover. Hyper into the jungle, not fast enough. The turret's still up over on the top side. They're stalking out Rosethorn. Hyper not going in. Triple's right there. I think there's a chance to catch Triple in rotation, but Triple's not headed into that direction. See this duo. They're so
nice
scary,
trap,
man, when they're in the jungle, but now Instinct using that Maokai, thanks to Shenyi, with the ultimate going through. Bree still alive. Meech now getting in those autos in the mid lane. Another fight breaking out as Triple trying to survive against Takeover. Another dive coming out of Takeover. My word, the mid lane does not belong to Triple today. Takeover takes it over. Hyper now grabbing that Rift Herald as the pressure still applied into this bot lane. Breezy looking to set something up over here. Finally getting calmed down as the minion wave gets cleared. But what a display coming out from Takeover in the mid lane. Might be looking for more in just a second as he starts posturing towards Rosethorn.
Man, Takeover on melees is such a treat. Like, I know the Yasuo game didn't exactly go his way, but, you know, he set up teasing into this. Known for his Sylas, known for his Akali. And oh boy, has this been a huge Akali game for Takeover as a comfort champ for him. I think a decent setup for it, as TSM knew they had to drive home this mid game. Takeover's making the most of it. Meanwhile, bot lane.
Now turret goes down. Here's Rosethorn now going after Shenyi. Gets a couple shots in, but Soul is able to teleport in over the wall with the ultimate is going to be Rosethorn. Doesn't get caught by the Call of the Forge God, so he will escape. Tower taken in the bot lane by CLG, but the response out of TSM is in the mid lane. They'll find a tower, but they might lose their jungler in the process. Rosethorn looking for the dive. Jenkins looking for the kill. Wrong way. You should have looked both ways before crossing the street. It's a kill for Rosethorn.
And a big shutdown going over to the side of CLG. As you can see, CLG actually now up in gold as TSM, I think, trying to defend that bot lane. They just didn't have the firepower to get through Meech. And again, CLG, if they get to the later stages of this game, they get really scary at SRX. Triples, Victor, Zeri, Gwen. We're seeing Jenkins, how much work he's been able to put in. The fact that you do get a somewhat free lane against the Ornn. And TSM, while Takeover has really tried to be the hero of this game, making all the plays in the 1v1. It's not enough yet for the side of TSM, as they're still a bit behind, it feels like, on the map, and I think this next dragon is really important that they're able to pick it up and at least try to keep on stacking up these dragons before they get outscaled.
45 seconds before that dragon comes up. TSM already getting into position for it, and not much to be had out of CLG. Doesn't look like they're going to go for the challenge. Still 35 seconds there, and holding down bot lane is going to be Jenkins, the rest of CLG towards this top side and mid side.
And I'm with you, because CLG, they don't need to contest. Again, they aren't at these strong points yet. You want to get Zeri, Phantom Dancer to IE. That's when Zeri starts to get really tough to deal with. Gwen, if you get Nashor's Tooth, again, in the side lane, you can be filthy strong. The only person that has a chance to stop you in this game is Takeover. So I think CLG seeding this is an intelligent move, and I want to see CLG, just continue to funnel gold into their big carries and try to not get caught as Takeover. Oh, he's lying in wait. That's a 1v2, though. I think he's got this.
He's going after Rosethorn. Gets Rosethorn pretty low there. The ultimate comes out. Takeover! My word! Finds another kill. Rosethorn goes down. He goes after Triple. Triple going golden. Is it going to buy enough time? No! Takeover will still take him down.
Takeover
finally drops to Meech, but Takeover 1v2 doesn't give a damn!
And Triple, it was a great stopwatch. And the fact that Triple landed that stopwatch prevented the second proc of the Shuriken back for damage that almost saved it for the side of CLG, but Takeover's Akali, we talked about if he gets fed early, what he can do, and Takeover is making the most of that gold as time and time again, he's making the plays of the game to try and keep TSM in it.
And making the plays, comes out of the fog of war. CLG try everything, Cubby. They try everything to stop it. They did many things right, even that stopwatch you were talking about.
And the first backflip didn't even connect for Takeover. I think if he connects it, he does walk away. But look at how he's playing in the vision. He has a control board in there. Oh my goodness, trying his best. If Meech would have gotten that kill, but if Meech would have had the burn flash for that too, it would have been such a filthy play from Takeover. Already is such a filthy play from Takeover. 6-1-1 in this game, Deserex. Again, doing everything he can to keep TSM in the game as he wins both side lanes right now. Against the Gwen, against the Victor. It is imperative for TSM that continue to put extra members by Takeover's side of the map just like this and try to make sure that Takeover can continue to aggress onto CLG, continue to take them down in the side lane, and continue to get TSM a point of strength.
No one can challenge Takeover right now, and if you try, you are going to die.
Oh, nice flash.
With the flash out of the Call of
really
Force
nice.
God. Will keep
really
him
nice.
alive. Stop the dive coming out from Takeover. Now Rosethorn over the wall with the ultimate. Jenkins looking to jump in as well. Now that Gwen splash damage can do a lot in these choke points here. Still looking for more. Will not get the stun. Is going to be Rosethorn, the disengage coming out from CLG and TSM.
That was a really, really nice flash from Triple. The fact they have the TP coming in means that they can't push forward. So I think on the side of CLG now, that is the first play where it really feels like they were able to dodge out on all the good stuff that TSM was put together in the side lanes. Now I want to see CLG just continue to catch the waves that come into them and really try to dissuade any positive plays here for TSM. I think that trying to hover whichever side of the map Takeover is going to be on is really key for CLG. But again, at this point of the game, Deserex, it feels like Takeover can 1v2 realistically. He already did.
That was basically a 1v3, Cubby. Let's be real on this one.
It was close, yeah.
He's hunting.
Oh, boy.
He's hunting.
No flash.
He's looking for Triple. No flash, but Takeover. Oh,
ooh,
so close to the mark right there. Instinct trying to take down Instinct. Not Instinct, excuse me. Triple on that one, but Takeover, my word. My word,
it was instinctual from Instinct. That was it. It was the guess. Yeah, it was the guess. We're trying to guess it blind. As no kill for Takeover, but it will milk the teleport out of Triple as that Twisted Advance comes up empty. You know, there are some abilities that would take you back to the base for that. I'm glad for the Maokai we don't see a tree getting lasered. I feel like that'd be bad for the environment. Bad message from Riot. I like that, you know? Keep the tree safe. Protect the trees.
Why you gotta bring this one in? Don't you know she just...
I've seen Akali follows those, if you land it with Akali.
Protect the trees. Everyone's trying to take down Shen Yi. This is not a good example. Ooh, setting up over down here.
Yeah.
Jenkins now just trying to cleave away at Soul.
Takeover, Instinct, TSM. This next dragon, again, we teased earlier. CLG, they weren't in position to contest. They didn't have the strength to contest that objective. We are now 5 minutes later in the game. The gold lead, it's still in favor of CLG, but again, the scaling of this composition, they will be filthy at the later stages of this game. But are they there yet? Does CLG feel like they are there to try and contest this dragon? We'll have to see if they answer that question for us. And we'll have to see what Takeover can do. As, again, this recall for Takeover, he hasn't recalled in a bit. this next base will be massive. I'm curious if he ends up going for the Zanyas or ends up going for the Shadow Flame, as he is sitting on components for both. Ooh, early flash.
Ooh, tries to get the engage, but Rosethorn, now the one in trouble. Has to back off. Instinct chasing him away. Shenyi with that flash burnt. That's one of the engage tools, but there's the other one coming right out. Hyper with the Cyclone. Finds a knock-up. Now Takeover over the wall. Keep your eyes on Takeover. There's the knock-up. Jenkins right on to Takeover, but Takeover hopping right on through. A kill going in. Hyper able to get it onto Triple. Meech tries to escape the clutches of Takeover, but cannot run fast enough. Takeover still hunting down more, looking for Rosethorn. Rosethorn in that choke point, using that invisibility, but he's hiding, he's running, he's trying to get away from the boogeyman. Another engage coming out as Shenyi onto Jenkins, Takeover onto Rosethorn, and CLG onto a track of defeat, courtesy of Takeover.
And I thought it was too aggressive from the side of Hyper at the start, but the follow-up from Soul and Takeover, man. Soul hit a 4-man Ornhorn in that choke, Deserex, and Takeover, all the damage he has. Look at the level of Takeover. He's level 15 this game, Deserex. He is so damn fed, and he was just able to run through the side of CLG because the engage from Hyper, the engage from Soul was too good, too big for them to deal with.
TSM, a strong lead, and even though it's just 2K on your screen, imagine how efficiently that gold has been allocated into Takeover's pocket. Taking another look at that fight, waiting on the engage for the positioning of Takeover and the Call of the Forge God.
This is a huge ult from Soul, and I love the flash commit from Hyper. Hyper's had a great game, but again, a 4-man Ornhorn. And CLG, when they just have to run rampant like that, when they are not fully grouped, when they cannot take advantage of the Mantra Shield from Karma to try and dissuade that engage, it is TSM just able to run through CLG with no resistance as Takeover shreds them off back that Ornhorn, and here comes Call of the Forge God again. Rosethorn's in trouble.
Oh, Rosethorn is down. Hyper looking for Breezy with another Cyclone, and TSM are destroying CLG. With those members down, 3 fallen. TSM happy to grab a Baron quite soon, but they're looking for a fight. They're looking for a pick. Triple holds the line, but not for much. Can't really stop this Baron take that's looking to come up from TSM.
Takeover and Hyper this game, Deserex, have been so good. Think of how this game started. The fact that Takeover was given, really just granted the flash mid lane from the Victor because of how Hyper pathed around that ward, then the revisit, then Takeover finds 2 solo kills. Really the playmaking coming out of Takeover, but also how Hyper set him up this game was so good as, oh boy, Takeover, he wants more.
Takeover 1v2 goes after Meech and Triple and just chases them out from the mid lane.
Takes
all
away
while TSM
stopwatch.
secure Baron.
Yeah, he's like, I'll take that stopwatch, man. You can't use that in the next fight. This one's all me as the 3rd item in the inventory at Takeover. He's level 16 now, Deserex. Shadow Flame in the building. CLG. Man, they were trying to push this to a 2-0, a 3-1 week, but TSM trying to get their first win of the week, Deserex. Again, off the back of Takeover's Soul. That's not the person you want to face check this brush.
Doesn't have Call of the Forge God, though.
Oh, boy.
So
goodbye.
No big engage, but hey, as long as Takeover's in the right spot, you don't really need it. Takeover. My word, he's just sweeping up CLG. What a highlight reel performance to come out from this mid laner.
I really hope if there are any drafts that TSM has in LCS that involve Akali, we see Takeover. I feel like that's just such a treat. Man, this guy's Akali is so nasty as just every play he's made, every time he's gone in. The only time he died, Deserex, was when he was in a 1v2.5. This game has been massive. And again, Hyper helped him out. I talked about Victor's flash, taking that away early, because it opens up TSM to revisit. That is exactly the game plan that TSM went for. Takeover has cashed in the lead he was granted like it's no one's business as, oh man, TSM, they're trying to end this week on a high note. Again, this would be their first win of the week. There was a lot of hype off the 3-3. I feel like this would be big for the team to take at least one game as TSM look bound to do so. 90 seconds away now from Infernal Soul. They will reset with this Baron to make sure they're set up for that.
All that vision on their flank. Triple was trying to find a play, but there was no way in because TSM could smell it coming. That place was lit up like Christmas. Now, Hyper He's been doing so well, man. It's been a great journey to watch him grow over these last couple of years. I watched him back in ISU. I remember that that little bit of a meme team that they used to have, a Drudozer, ISU, always pure chaos coming out of them. But he made himself for being a jungler that's always looking for a play, and that's what we see here today. He's really refined that style, setting up everyone else, including Takeover on this one, to find success in this game.
Oh boy. Rosethorn, you're in trouble, buddy.
Yeah. Another one. It's Takeover. Another one.
Oh my God.
For Takeover. Sees Jenkins. Gonna go ahead and slap that one up. Throw a few more shurikens. Jenkins trying to return, but buying some time with the hourglass. Now just the finishing blow. Another one picked up over there as now into the bot lane. Hyper going in with the Cyclone, still gets the kill. He has Guardian Angel. He doesn't have to worry about being too deep. He can be this risky. Meech looking to chase away TSM. The health bar is a little bit high here because that front line is tanky, and it will engage on you in a heartbeat as Triple is now seeing. The ultimate goes out. Soul unable to get the knock up onto Meech. It's a last stand coming out here for Meech. It was a strong debut in that game one, but TSM took that a little bit personal.
Meech might clean up one, but oh boy, Takeover, he has different thoughts. Nice catch by Rosethorn there in the Shuriken backflip, or else Takeover might have tried to go fountain diving to fish for one more. TSM, damage is done though, 2 inhibitors down. Infernal Soul bound to go over to them. What a game, as this game has been so one-sided, Deserex, and it has been a bloody one-sided affair.
CLG are still trying though. Jenkins comes in on the flank, walks into two. That's Instinct and Takeover right there. It's still a pick coming out. Rosethorn takes down Shenyi. Now the rest of TSM targeting over towards this Drake. Rosethorn trying ahead in that situation, trying to head in that direction. But it's still too late. TSM secure Dragon Soul.
TSM, it's been a tough week, but a great finish as, again, look bound to win this game. The only way that TSM has to have some sort of monumental throw at this point. As I do want to return, actually, to what you were saying about Hyper. Because Hyper, again, week one, he got Lee Sin 4 times. Went 3-1 on the champion. And we all know what Hyper's Lee Sin can do. Every level, he has over a 70% career win rate on the Lee Sin. But to see him have a performance like this on the Wukong, and again, much like Yuji, have a good game plan going in and read the map, realizing, hey, if we get Victor's flash out, Takeover can win both sides, we get outscaled drastically, I'm going to sacrifice myself to help out my laner. That was the decision-making behind TSM that I think really helped pull them ahead in this game, really set up Takeover for success as Hyper. Someone that I felt like was one of the worst players that we had in Academy in spring, being quite frank, at the start of the split. Hyper's been showing some really nice improvement here at the start of summer. Been really good to see out of him. I really hope this continues moving into week 3.
Incredible improvement displayed here in this game number 2. As you had said, taking Takeover to the next level in this game 2. Now TSM circling this top lane. The tower waiting for the siege. You have an inhibitor down, both in the mid lane and in the bottom lane. So there's not much really to be had here for CLG. There's not too many ways they can find a comeback. You know, they don't have much in terms of engage tools. They have some good fight, but no way to really get it to get in and find a fight. Jenkins just trying a split push here in the bottom lane, but TSM see that. They're going to press the go button.
That's 2 Rs, as now we'll see Call the Forge got freed up. Again, Jenkins knew that he wasn't really going to be able to help with this push, so might as well try and get something else, but that's still 3 inhibitors down. Deserex as TSM playing this one out a little bit slow. I will say, TSM, while a monumental throw from them would be required to make this game interesting, I still wouldn't want to go to 40 minutes with an Elder Drake fight with Victor, Zeri, and Gwen at 3 items. I would much prefer to end the game on this Baron push with 3 inhibitors. So, hoping that we see TSM do it cleanly here, as again, time is not their friend. But I think that TSM has utilized the time that we've seen on the Rift rather effectively to make sure that CLG cannot hit that God mode point in the late game. We'll see if TSM can put the final touches to what has been a beautiful game from them, especially from their mid-jungle duo. And shout out to Instinct as well. Deathless on the Senna, been positioning very well what we expect Instinct to do in this game. Been a good look.
Methodical play coming out of TSM, and if this were to go longer, I'd almost see it as a Takeover being like, no, don't surrender yet. I want to see this one through. Come on, look at my KDA, man. I want my full build. You know, that's It's not going to happen right now, as already the next tower's under attack. Double supers coming in every single wave. Jenkins still trying to find a flank onto this one, but as we said, no engaged tools to really lock down all these threats.
There we go.
On TSM, and now here we go. Already using the Call of the Forge. Got everything. All that CC in tandem. It's going to find one pick onto Meech, and the entire bot side of the map is a race for CLG. Only Jenkins and Rosethorn remain, but they're watching their base go up in flames as TSM will take game number 2 with a quadra kill to exclaim it.
14-1-8 for Takeover's Akali, man. Again, we know how nasty this guy is on the Melee Champions. And boy, oh boy, did Takeover prove it in that game as he just stomps CLG, man. 14 kills in Academy. Holy smokes, Takeover. Man, I feel like at the start of the day, you know, Joshi's video, we had our top 5 players to watch for LCS. That's why we had Takeover part of the video. Because when Takeover gets his champ, what he's able to do is pretty nasty in Academy.
I mean, the game plan was cut and dry. You had pretty much told exactly what TSM were going to do at the start of this cast, Cubby. It was play towards the mid lane, have Hyper play towards Takeover. Takeover took over. What can you really say other than, my God, he is someone you have to watch out for in that mid lane. 14-1-8 on this Akali. Is he going to get this again, Cubby?
I mean, yeah, because you can't ban Lee Sin plus Akali away from TSM, or else you're going to run out of bans. If you're going to pick 2 side lanes where Akali's really good into it, I really like this game plan for TSM. I think that Hyper played around it really well, and also the bot lane too. Shenyi, Instinct with Hyper were able to make a really nice play to make sure that they got 2 lanes ahead in that game. Soul just doing his job on the Ornn, had some really big team fights with, you know, Call of the Forge Gods, some knockups. Soul redeeming what had been a pretty tough week for him, too, in his sophomore week of Academy. TSM ending on a high note. They can run with that into practice next week. We'll see how things go.
We'll have to see. TSM, congratulations to them for taking that game number 2 and evening this up, but all things considered, a good debut coming out from Meech in his first series here against TSM. You know, it is still a 1-1 series at the end of it all. It is still a draw at the end of it all. That's the nature of the best of 2s. We are going to take a moment to throw it over a short break because we know Mazel is just itching to have an interview with one of the members of TSM, so be sure to stay tuned.
What has changed since I last saw you all? But we're back. We're finally back. So let's get started. While everyone was taking a rest and finding a new wardrobe, a massive patch was dropped with changes across the board on almost every champion, but this is something we expected. And as usual, I've brought in some Academy players to discuss the matter.
To be honest, it hasn't changed that much.
I think the durability patch changed like most of the stuff. Like, I think ADC is more broken.
I would have thought there would have been more talk on new champions defining a new meta, like Instinct. You were talking about how ADCs are broken, but wouldn't something like Seraphine be just as broken? And it's something you've also played in the past.
I'm probably gonna just play champions that I can 1v5 on, and like play carry champions rather than just playing Seraphine.
We have like a special coin. It's like golden, and we normally like flip it. And I normally like put my bet on heads because, you know, I'm just the best. So we flip a coin to see who gets the Lilia.
Yeah, I think Lilia top's pretty average, to be honest. I don't think it's as good as people make it out to be, even looking at the win rates.
Something that I wish would be meta is like 80 carries, like proper 80 carries, man. Not like Lucian, Tristana, like they'll jump in, but like stuff like Aphelios or like Ezreal, like that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
For top lane, I have a theory. I have a theory that Caitlyn top can be good, and I'm being dead serious. I've thought this for like 3 seasons now, where Caitlyn top can actually be good.
I enjoy playing Victor bot right now.
Sejuani is no longer a jungler as well. It's actually a top laner now. Sag.
It's OP. Yo, we should play Irelia jungle, Sejuani top.
I got panicked last castle and then we lost the game. And I keep getting blamed every day for not carrying that game. and I accept it. You know, it's fine. I did not carry that game, and I should have carried that game. So it's a champion that got buffed basically because he had a weak laning phase. Now it's much easier to lane and all. So I really want to play him. I think I'll get the chance to play him, and then just carry a game. I'll get to level 16, and I'll just kill everybody. And then, you know, I'll stop this meme forever.
Right, I concede. I suppose you've all done your prep and done well. Stamps all around, stamps all around. But we're getting close to the end of our allotted time. And before you go back to scrims and normalcy, I've got assignments for you that I want you to play during this split. Instinct! I've assigned you Vigar bot.
Playing Vigar, I'm just gonna go search up Vigar V2 coaching and get some tech from him, you know? You know, he has Vigar in his name, so he has to be good in the champ.
Ormeo, your assignment is to test the power of Mordekaiser jungle.
Ooh, okay, that's decent. That's decent.
That's AFK until 20 minutes.
A lot of buffs.
Yeah.
That's what I do anyway. It's fine. Anyway, Mordekaiser has received a lot of buffs. I like that one.
And Bradley, for you,
Chances are the champion you're about to list is something John has already told me to play.
just for that, you get at least top.
Honestly, I'll really push for it, just for you. I'll really push for it when we're on stage, when it's our first week back in Academy, and ask me like, what's my counter pick here? I'll really push for at least, just for you, okay?
You better. Now, for a triple, I think you would like something that could move around the map a bit more. So I've assigned for you Singed Mid.
Oh, yo, I actually think it's good, by the way. Like, I've seen a bunch of Singed players play mid in Korean solo queue, and they run bot with Predator, like, the first chance they get, and someone will die.
And Jenkins, for you, I feel like Kled would be appropriate.
I like Kled, but also hate Kled. I have a love-hate relationship with Kled personally. I feel like if I played against Kled, I could probably beat it with like any champion, but I feel like at the same time I could probably win any matchup with Kled.
And then finally, Pretty. I've saved my favorite for last.
I don't think I like how this is going.
What do you mean? This is a great idea.
You have some crazy ideas, you know? Let me hear them.
No. Ash mid.
No,
Leona mid.
not happen.
Singed mid.
Nope.
Alistar mid. That's gotta work. What about Quinn mid? Aurelion Soul?
We can probably work with that, yeah.
All right. Perfect. Now that everyone has their assignments, I expect great things from you this season.
Welcome back, everyone. We're here with the Verizon post-game interview, and I'm joined by the one, the only TSM Academy's jungler, War Machine Hyper. Hyper, how are you doing? You come back with a big victory in Game 2 of the series. I did hear, though, you thought Wukong was weak. Did it just fit the situation? Is it still weak? Well, what's up with that? You kind of smurfed on it, not gonna lie.
I think he's still pretty weak, but like I prefer playing Vig over him, but he's not bad. I think he got better since last time I played him.
Yeah. Slowly making his way up to the hyper situation. Talk about champions a little bit more though. I will say, you know, you had gotten all 3 wins up until this point on Lee Sin. Now, you are the self-proclaimed king of Lee Sin in Academy. How do you feel about the Lee Sin coming into this one and the performance you've had on it?
What was the question?
How do you feel about Lee Sin this
Oh, yeah. yeah. I'm probably not going to get it again, but I think I'm the best Lee, yeah.
Probably not. They always let it slip through a couple times, and they remember why they're not allowed to play.
You're probably just going to ban it from now.
Yeah, no doubt. I do want to talk a little bit about another split with you and TSM Academy, right? You're getting another split of Academy under your belt. How has that been for you, right? Getting to stick around and kind of see how the piece is working through an up and down start.
Lucky to be here.
Glad
Shouldn't
to hear
be
it.
here.
Some good words.
Yeah.
Hey, come on now. You're smurfing him. You're smurfing him. You got the dub today. Be happy.
Mhm.
But I do want to talk, right? Because you are sticking together with a few members, right? But you do have a new
Yeah.
member who you have to work pretty closely with in Seoul in the top lane as a solo laner. How has it been adapting to a new member of the team?
It's pretty good since he's good at the game, so it's just easy to play.
Easy. What about some of the more established members? How has it been working with another split of say Takeover in the mid jungle duo?
I think it's the same from last split. He's still good, and Instinct, he's good too. Sometimes.
It makes it a little easy. Yes.
Just kidding.
They're
Just
a little
kidding.
soft flame. Well then, I
Yeah,
want
we're
to
getting
ask
better.
you particularly. Yeah, I was gonna say, how do you feel like the strengths are working out for TSM Academy as a whole, as a team?
What do you mean? Like the strengths?
Like, what do you think the
Like our
biggest
playstyle?
strengths are for your squad? Yeah, this split.
I think we just like play to scale and just team fight.
Okay. Easy strategies. Do you have any thoughts about the competition at all in Academy? You have any thoughts on any other junglers?
Like jungles or
anything
like
that?
overall?
Yeah, either one.
No, I can't say it's fine. They're all good.
So hey, we'll leave things unsaid.
Yeah.
We'll leave things unsaid.
Mhm.
I want to give you a moment here to give any shout outs, anybody you want to talk about before I let you go.
Shout out my teammates and anyone who supports us. Yeah.
Hey, big hype.
Thank you.
Here, man. Excited to get to chat with you. Have a wonderful rest of your day and enjoy the rest of the week until next week.
Thank you. You too.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and bring
Bye.
back my wonderful casters. I've got Cubby and Death.